White South Africans abandoning South Africa, saying we don't want it anymore. We were just pretending when we were fighting for it. We are ready to go. We are ready to bounce. Let's go to the United States of America, the land of the free, home of the brave, Statue of Liberty and all. Let's go to Dallas, Texas. Let's go to Virginia, Dulles, Virginia. Let's go over there and start a better life. We have been suffering. We have been going through a G-side. These Afrikaners are out here leaving the supposed land that was theirs. They fought so hard. And the craziest part about this shocking news is the fact that South Africa already in itself is the most unequal country on the planet. The most unequal country on the planet. And now we have the South Africans saying, sorry, we are refugees. All that you've always heard, that 70% of South Africa belongs in the hands of the minority, of the Afrikaners, of the white man, is a lie. They're out here trying to take our land, and so we've had enough. Thank God the orange man is out here saying we can leave. We are refugees. We've been suffering. We've been discriminated against. We've been persecuted against. We need to leave for a better life. Let all the Afrikaners put on their iPads, their Apple Watches. The beautiful white little girls with long, beautiful blonde hair come out here with their headphones and their pink backpacks. Get on this freaking chartered plane.
By the government.
By the government. Not just any government. First world country.
The U.S. of United States.
Yeah.
They chartered a plane.
Yes.
For the discriminated against, so-called discriminated against Afrikaners.
Yes, the discriminated ones, the human beings that are being discriminated against. These Afrikaners have been living a terrible life.
Oh.
This particular white skin has been going through so much. It's unacceptable that there's a place on this planet, in this particular South Africa, where the white man is being persecuted against. No. We need to speed up the freaking process. We don't care if it takes years for some other folks who are also seeking refuge,
yes,
who are also seeking for a better life. We don't give a crap about Haiti. We don't give a crap about Somalia, Congo, any of these freaking places, Afghanistan, Palestine, or Gaza. We don't give a crap about that. Let's go down there to the South Africa.
Yeah.
To the South Africa and make sure that we give these people a chance at life.
They have
white Afrikaners.
Yes, they have been suffering so much. They have been discriminated and they have been suffering. They have just been so-called unalived, left, right, and center.
They've been going through a lot.
Yes.
There's a G-side against them. They're being persecuted. Their land is being taken away from them. We don't care whether they are black or white, okay? Says Donald Trump. Donald Trump came out here and said, I couldn't give a crap. I couldn't care less whether they are. Doesn't matter to me what skin color they are. I don't care what weight they are. I don't care what. It's just terrible what's going on there.
And this mainstream media, they're just not talking about it. I don't know why you're not talking about it.
If it was the other way around, you wouldn't stop hearing about it. But Congo has been going through this for the last 30 years. Your particular mainstream media that you are saying, if it was the other way around, has not been talking about Congo G-side.
Yes. Where?
But it's not about color, okay? It's not about color, people. Please don't get it wrong. It's not white privilege. It's not about Afrikaners. It's not about these folks.
No.
It's about the fact that certain human beings are going through some terrible stuff. They land could. Emphasize on could. So the land is not even freaking taken away yet.
Yes. And it's not even, they don't even know if it's going to be their land or not.
Yes. These particular boers. So boers is what? What is a boer? Who is a boer? What is a boer? A boer is a term given to some of these white Afrikaners
Yes.
Were farmers, right?
Yeah, that basically means boer in Africa, in English, means a farmer. And so mostly the boers in South Africa, they are white. So it's white boers. That is it. And they are descendants of the Dutch Cape Colony.
Cape Colony.
Yes.
That freaking word Cape again. No wonder this Cape Independence also decided to have the word Cape.
Yes.
Cape
Yeah.
what? Please say it again. So Cape somewhere up there?
Yeah, Dutch Cape Colony.
Dutch Cape Colony.
From the Cape of Good Hope. Yes.
No, but the Cape of Good Hope is the one in the Western Cape.
Yes.
Oh, they descended to the west of to the Cape of Good Hope, Cape de Bonne Espérance in Western Cape, South Africa, past Simonstown. If you're not South African, welcome. This will be a geography lesson for you. If you are, we stand to be corrected if you know South Africa better than we do. Sorry, I am Congolese, but I'm well traveled. I'm one of those Pan-Africanists that's so passionate about these issues. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you. We don't know where you're coming in from, but feel free to conversate. Feel free to participate. Let your thoughts be heard. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Follow us on all social media. You are where you want to be. Yes, we are extremely talkative. We believe in these things. We are passionate about these things.
Yes.
And here at Rules Voices, we make sure that certain voices are heard. We be the voice for the voiceless. So we also have to be the voice for all the refugees that have been applying to go to a better place in this world, and their applications has been freaking stalling or on their freaking desk somewhere for years.
Yes.
But now we are living in a time where these Afrikaners who just applied 3 months ago got a plane sent for them. These white Afrikaners, huh? These white Afrikaners. Do you get black Afrikaners?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? No. Because, they actually chose that term Afrikaners. It was a strategic way of coming up with that term, huh? That name.
Yes.
To put the word because it sounds like Africa.
Yeah, the term Afrikaners is mostly used now in this day and age of South Africa because most Afrikaans speaking people are white.
Most Afrikaans speaking people are white.
Yes, in South Africa. So that is why they are called the Afrikaners.
The Afrikaners. You get black people there in South Africa that also speak baie goed.
Yes.
Afrikaans, huh?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yeah. They speak
baie goed.
Baie goed, yeah.
Baie goed. Sorry, I'm learning. I'm Congolese, okay? We are multicultural over here. We do our best. We try to be as linguistic as we can. Some black South Africans also speak baie goed Afrikaans.
Yeah.
They go to Stellenbosch University. Stellenbosch University is in Western Cape, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They were all the wines come from.
Do you know how beautiful Stellenbosch University is? Shoo! Everybody always talks a lot about UCT, the University of Cape Town. And they also talk about, for example, UWC, the University of the Western Cape. And they talk about Wits University. They talk about Transvaal and all this. But I've been fortunate enough to have visited all the universities that I've just mentioned. Thank you very much. But that particular Stellenbosch University, the architecture, the infrastructure, the buildings, the facilities, the faculties is top notch.
Yeah, they get them from far and wide. The faculty from the Stellenbosch University, they are pretty high end.
And they have money.
Yeah, they are well funded.
These same freaking Afrikaners who are fleeing, who's saying they're being persecuted again, they have the most money in South Africa. These refugees who apparently have been persecuted against are the ones that even control the means of production of South Africa.
Yes.
There are no townships here in South Africa where white Afrikaners are living with no water or with no electricity. There's nothing like that.
No, there's nothing like that.
They are refugees, Aline.
No, come on. Yeah, how can I? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm confused. Yes. These are white people in South Africa, Afrikaners, they are refugees. My mistake. Because you say what you are. Yes.
What mistakes did you make? You didn't make a mistake. I didn't hear a mistake. Maybe you made a mistake in your mind.
Yes.
But you're cool, don't worry. But these Afrikaners who have been living a privileged life, okay? Sorry, this is unfiltered. Unfiltered. It means we respect you enough to show you respect and to tell you the truth. We cannot sugarcoat this. We have to say it the way that it is. Afrikaners live a great life. Sorry, it's not the same type of life that perhaps you used to live prior to 1994. Certain benefits have been taken away. Certain perks have been taken away. Certain privileges have been taken away. But still, they're still living a decent life.
They are still considered more in everyday life. They have a lot more capabilities.
A lot more capabilities, a lot more food. Because
Yes.
they are boers. They eat. They don't starve, these particular Afrikaners. In fact, they have the privilege of feeding pigs, humans. Like in Limpopo, that story that came out here where those boers analyzed those black folks and fed them to pigs.
Yeah. I still can't believe that story.
Even those Afrikaner pigs live the privileged life.
Because
Hello.
what? They got good meat.
Yes, man. Those Afrikaner pigs, Afrikaner pig boers, they live the privileged life. They had the privilege of feasting on human flesh.
Goodness. The actual thought, just going back to that thing, that story, the actual thought of that pig farmer who said, nah, okay, after he unalived them, feed them to the pigs. Yeah.
If you guys don't know the story, just Google it. It happened in Limpopo a few months ago. Not a few months ago, maybe 7 to 8 months ago, 9 months ago, maybe close to a year now. But those particular boers are still in custody and are still on trial. That trial is taking a long time, huh?
Yeah.
I hope that trial, the decision of that particular trial will actually just come out now. You understand?
Yes.
Because the sentiment here, the false freaking narrative here is the fact that apparently they're being unalived, and that there's a white G-side against them. I hope the judgment would come out now so that the whole freaking world and the whole South Africa and African folks, all of us that are interested in these particular stories would come out here and say, well, wait a minute. I thought the narrative is that there's a G-side against them.
Yes.
How come there's a judgment out here where it's them that are feeding black folks to pigs?
Yes. Why isn't Elon Musk upset about that? Why isn't he saying anything to the orange man about that?
Who?
Elon Musk. Because this whole story, I am sure, it started from Elon Musk talking to the orange man in his ear, saying there is something not nice happening in South Africa. Land expropriation, there's a lot of white farmers being unalived apparently.
That particular Musk man never liked the whole policy that a progressive party in South Africa called the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighter, led by one of the greatest Pan-Africanists that we still have here now, Julius Malema, repatriation of land without compensation.
Yes.
That particular policy that the EFF intends to put in effect. He never liked Julius Malema for that.
Yeah.
Every single Boer, every single Afrikaner hates the EFF because the EFF is out here to push for what? Let me tell you. Equality.
Ooh.
Equality. Since these Afrikaners have more than 70% of the land, and they are the minority, they are only the 7% of the population of South Africa. Oh my gosh, why is this too hard to understand? Why is Black South Africa so quiet on this freaking issue? Sorry, I'm Congolese, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm doing them a favor by talking for them. Anyway, that is insane. The most unequal country on the planet.
Yeah.
South Africa is the most unequal country on the planet. 70% in the hands of the minority, and these Black South Africans, most of them live in townships.
Yes.
Townships. So it's only fair that the EFF should come out here and push for a policy that the ANC, the current winning party that has been in charge in South Africa for the last 30 years, the ANC, the party of Nelson Mandela, the party that Cyril Ramaphosa is representing in this particular government of national unity. Okay, people, keep up, please. All right? Yes.
Yes.
The same policy that they are now doing their best to try to implement repatriation of land without compensation. You took this land for free.
Yeah. Show us the actual papers of how you got this land. In apartheid times, how did you get this land? How did your family get this land?
Yes. How did
very
you
simple.
Afrikaners, how did you Boers get all those acres?
Yeah, because you can't be living and working and creating your generational wealth on free land that was given to you in a time where you chased the minority off.
The majority.
No, the minority was the black people in apartheid times. They
No.
chased them off the land and then
There
they
was still
took
the
it.
majority. There was still more. There was still a lot.
Oh.
When these Afrikaners came to South Africa through the Cape of Good Hope, actually not the Afrikaner, when the Dutch and some of these people came there and they started doing the hanky-panky stuff.
Oh, you're
The
talking about-
hanky-panky stuff. Afrikaners are a result of the hanky-panky from the Dutch people and all these people. That's who the Boers are, these people. They're the descendants, the result of the hanky-panky that happened from the descendants of the Dutch people.
Oh.
All the Khoisan, all those beautiful villages, things also that were out there. You understand what I'm saying?
Things, yes.
Yes, the result of that, they're the descendant of the people that came there, of the colonizers. The Afrikaner is not a colonizer. Don't flatter yourself. You're not a colonizer, please. The colonizer were the people who came. That's why they even fought. That's why they even fought.
Yeah.
They lost the battle to the British. This is in a fault. Back in the days. Back in
Yeah.
the days, yes. But I just had an epiphany. I just had an epiphany here now. Please participate in the comment section. So these Afrikaners are out here pushing a wrong narrative to say that there's a G-side against them in South Africa,
Yeah.
but failing to understand. If that was true, if it was true, there's an explanation for that. If it was true that these particular white Afrikaners or Boers, white South Africans, were going through a G-side,
Yeah.
the explanation, according to my genius brain, would be, well, that's because you minorities have most of the freaking land.
Yes.
And you're leaving the majority without. Of course, the majority will be like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, the majority are squeezed into smaller houses that are so close to each other and they're not even probably built with proper cement, bricks.
You minority are controlling the food supply chain for the majority. The majority has to go to Pick and Pay. Pick and Pay is one of the most popular, what's the term? Popular what?
Most used supermarkets.
One of the most popular supermarkets in South Africa. Shoprite is another one.
Yes.
Shoprite, where you get your
Checkers.
groceries. Checkers. Shoprite Checkers. They combine. Huh? They used to be separate before. Back in 1991, when I first landed in South Africa, I remember when I was living in Sandton, in Hillbrow, when Hillbrow was still clean. I remember there was a Shoprite and there was a Checkers.
Yeah.
I think business opportunities or whatever made them come together. Now it's Shoprite Checkers. But anyway, you minorities are controlling the food supply because you, the Boers, are in charge of some of these farms.
Yes.
Some of these farms.
Yeah.
Now, okay, please.
No, I wanted to say, because back to this Julius Malema and Elon Musk, because their whole thing came on, because you know the song Unalive the Boer?
You, the Boer,
Hey,
the master, shoot to give.
yes.
Oh, no.
So I am sure that is also something that Elon Musk showed the Orange Man, because
You
Julius
think he played it in
Malema.
the Oval Office?
Yes, man, they're
The
sitting
Orange
there.
Man is Donald Trump. Come on, man.
And then, so because Julius Malema, he sang that song in front of like a crowd of 90,000 people in the
90,000 black South Africans
Yes.
were chanting.
chanting that song in FNB Stadium in Gauteng.
To give
Hey,
the master.
yes.
to kill the Roma.
Yes.
I know the song because they've played it on TV a lot because he's been on trial
Yes.
for hate speech.
Yeah.
Because that song promotes hate speech. It's
But
not a cool song, by the way. We are not up for it. We're not up for violence.
It's not a cool song, but there's a history of this song that it's because of apartheid days. The black people, they sang that because of, they felt marginal, they were
Being discriminated against.
Yes, they were being
Yes.
discriminated against. So they came up with this song. So it's got to do with more of history of that song.
It's a song of liberation.
Yes.
It's a song of struggle. Song of struggle. And those chants are not official lyrics. Those chants, because when you're chanting, you can change depending on the mood, depending on the vibe,
Yeah.
while you're on stage, depending on how people respond. You can switch the words and continue to chant. But you're right. It is possible that the interplanetary man, the Tesla guy,
Yes.
came out here and said, look, my friend Trump, today is going to be a private Oval Office meeting. I have a song for you to play. That one of those black folks in South Africa uses to get the people riled up. Riled up.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So just listen to this for a second. And once the orange man just heard that song,
And they're all jumping like that. Hey. Ew.
that song is quite hectic also. Huh?
It is,
It is
but
quite
it's
hectic.
more of a historical thing. It means like, we can do it. It's like victory. We can do it. We can overcome.
You know that sometimes is necessary in order to awaken the spirit of the people. You have to come out here and be a little bit radical.
Yes.
You have to. You can't be soft when you want change. You see now what's currently happening in West Africa with Captain Ibrahim Traore,
Oh.
where we have all these different narratives that are being pushed here by certain Haas Negroes, left, right, and center. We, the African folks who stand for unity, we Pan-Africanists, we need to be strong. We perhaps need to come up with certain lyrics too that's new of these times.
Yes.
We will still continue to call these particular days as struggle days. It will be a strong struggle, economic struggle, because Africa is still tied down economically to these imperialistic countries. You understand, the system is designed in a way where we have to continue to pay this colonial debt. That's why corruption is all the way down to the ground in some of these countries, and we are unable to do anything because of the freaking system. We need a struggle song. We need a 2025 struggle song.
For the whole of Africa.
Maybe we should get Davido
Hey.
to come up with it. But it needs to be effective.
Yeah.
And it needs to stir the mind. It needs to unsettle certain spirits, certain people. There's a reason why those struggle songs of liberation, like the one we were singing now, is
Yeah.
the reason why it made effect. It made effect. If you come out here and sing love songs, like
People are just gonna.
we are the world, we are the children. That does not move anybody to
That-
unite.
That doesn't light a fire for a change, a radical change to happen within a country.
And South Africa was still one of those last countries to abolish this freaking apartheid regime. They started getting a lot of international pressure until they had to come up with a system, a thing to want to release Nelson Mandela because they were getting too much heat internationally. So they wanted to, South Africa is one of the countries here in Africa
Yeah.
where the colonizers came to stay. We came to stay, we came to live here.
Yes.
We came to claim this land as our indigenous people. We are Afrikaners. Yeah, we're gonna stay here. They landed there with their nice hats at the Cape of Good Hope. They came off the boats. Titanic,
Yes.
before Titanic was getting ready to sail
Yeah.
with Leonardo DiCaprio, the movie. That's what I always have in my
Of
head.
course, yes.
When they came to the Cape of Good Hope. It's beautiful there, huh? For those of you guys who don't know where the Cape of Good Hope is, it's past Simonstown, it's in Cape Town, Western Cape. It's where the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean meets. You literally see a line at the Cape of Good Hope. The Atlantic Ocean on this side and the Indian Ocean on this side, and you can see that line, the difference. This one is light blue, this one is greenish.
You see the waters clashing, and it's a beautiful sight. But it's very windy, very windy.
Not every day, but,
Mostly.
but that's because also Cape Town, or rather Western Cape, is one of those cities where
Yeah.
you get all 4 seasons in one day.
Oi,
Cape Town doesn't play games.
Cape
Huh?
Town, that wind can knock a person over.
It really
Yeah.
is the mother city because mama's mood can change at any time.
Like wildfire.
Mother Nature can come out here and say, "You're not going out today, it's windy." Say, "Oh crap, I wanted to go to the club today." "You're not going out now, it's raining." "What do you mean it's raining? The sun was just shining." "It's changed. I said you're not going out." That's Cape Town. "I want to go swimming." No. It's hail rain. It's
Hailing,
crazy.
yes.
Hailing, yes.
It's crazy.
So, the Orange Man. Speaking about the Orange Man,
Yeah.
we still with South Africa. We're still talking about these Afrikaners. Okay, before we go diving deep into the Orange Man and speak about his trip to the Middle East, where he went to Saudi Arabia, secured a deal for $600 billion, and then he decided to get on this Air Force One, land in Qatar with fighter jets, and secured another deal for $1.2 billion. And then after that, the Orange Man said, "What? Let me go to the creme de la creme of the UAE, Abu Dhabi, the capital city," and landed over there and secured another deal worth of $1.4 trillion. And before we come and
Yes.
talk about all the Democrats that are still talking crap about him, let's go on talking about the Afrikaners. Okay. So, the Afrikaners, they are also here with the privilege of having whites-only towns.
Oh,
Whites-only towns. Afrikaner-only town. Sorry, you have to check those black people coming there by the boom gate, huh? Who are they? Who are they coming to see here in this Orania?
I think
In this Klein-Fontaine?
they might be lost. No,
They might be lost.
no.
What is this?
No.
Let me...
Make sure that they have at least if they want to stay, make sure that they have less than 2 nights of nights here.
Watch them. They cannot buy here. We don't care how rich they are. They cannot buy here. Only an Afrikaner can buy in Orania, okay? They cannot buy here. We can listen to that struggle song. Oh, I don't have the lyrics. I don't want to play it here, but just Google.
No, I messaged her. I told her there
That
in the
what?
thing with Pray with Faith Grace. If you just look at the comment there.
Wait
you
to
can-
listen to it.
No, I googled the song. I told her the name of the song.
What's the name of the song?
Unalive the Boer. I can't say the.
Unalive the boy. You can use the word unalive here.
Yeah.
Yes, they're not that sensitive. This stream is not for kids. They're not that sensitive. These are grown folks. Double tap the screen, please. Share the live. I don't know if you can share the live or whatever. Double tap the screen. Let's get some more people in here. What's today? Today's Friday.
Today is Friday.
The black South Africans are out getting ready to go out partying. They don't give a crap if a narrative is being pushed out here to say that you people are unaliving the white Boers over there. They couldn't care less. That's the other issue with black South Africa. They're not really standing up for these issues. Hello, do we have any South Africans in the building? Black South Africans are sleeping. They're being accused of murder. But they're not saying anything.
They're just thinking, okay, 49 less. When is the next chartered plane coming to get?
It's 59.
It's a 50. They are mixed ones going. They say
Yes.
49, 59.
We're talking about the first bunch of Afrikaners who left South Africa to go to Dulles in Virginia. The first bunch is between 49 and 59. I heard 59 from certain sources.
Yeah.
I heard 59 from that side, from America, from wherever they land.
South Africa is saying 49.
South Africa is 59, okay? It's 59. You see this 50 people online and 9 likes? Put those numbers together, it's 59.
Oh my God.
So you stand up, you see how freaking perceptive I am up in here. That's right, man. You're at the
Yes.
right place, okay? You are somewhere where the genius brain is in action. Lucky for you, you discovered this account. Anyway,
Yes.
before we keep blowing our own horn, whites only towns, Orania, established in 1991.
From the mastermind of apartheid.
These apartheid people or these Afrikaner people, they know how to position themselves in this world, huh?
They put
To
themselves.
get what they want.
Yes, they set themselves up for success before they know that the downfall of their regime was coming. They started to set themselves up. And so now they are sort of protected by this thing called self-determination. This is my land.
But look, they've been self-determinating for the last 30 years since the ANC has been in power. Since that Orania was established close to the Orange River in Northern Cape, right?
Northwest, yeah.
Northwest or Northern Cape?
Northwest.
Northwest. Northern Cape? Excuse me, let me double check because I love to be right. Is it Northwest? It's Northern Cape. Northern Cape. It's Northern Cape. Patrick Roos is always right sometimes. I say
in
sometimes.
the region of Northern Cape.
Northern Cape, man. It's my genius brain. You can trust me. I deserve a subscribe for that. Thank you very much. So, they've been self-determinating since 1999 when Orania was established in Northern Cape, close to the Orange River. The crazy part, the strategic thing about that particular year, 1991, it's still the same year that, what's his name?
Hendrik Verwoerd?
No, he was involved in the establishment of that white-only town Orania, but Madiba.
He was released.
Nelson Mandela was released.
Yes.
From Robben Island. Robben Island is quite nice. It's quite huge. It's not as small as it looks from the shores of the waterfront in Cape Town. Huh?
Yeah.
Once you actually get there, it's quite big. It's very
huge.
big.
Yeah.
Yes. Robben Island is where Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. I don't know if it's all 27
No,
years. It's not all 27 years.
He spent about 18 or 19 years in Robben Island.
I don't know for sure.
I think, yes.
But something like that. But I know that the remaining years of that 27 years was somewhere in Paarl.
In Pollsmoor.
No, not Pollsmoor. I said Paarl. Paarl.
Paarl, yeah.
Paarl. P-A-A-R-L. Under house arrest. They still count that as like prison.
Of course, yes.
There was a nice house there. Is that what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even this PDD. PDD, I'm not sure.
Please.
That's a sale, huh?
Yeah, that's a sale.
There's no privilege
It's
there.
one of the worst ones, apparently, in that city.
But what about this R. Kelly? This R. Kelly is releasing songs. So he's got certain freaking privileges in there.
Because he's been there longer, man.
And he's there for the next 30 years or something like that. So what? Bring the studio in? Yeah, because once they're there, people don't give a crap. Just let him stay. Give him the freaking equipment, man. Who cares?
Yes, he spent 18 years of his sentence at Robben Island. Out of his
Nelson
27.
Mandela?
Yes.
Please say it properly.
In the winter of 1964, Nelson Mandela arrived on Robben Island, where he would spend 18 out of his 27 prison years.
He spent 18 years on Robben Island, the world's biggest icon. And then from there, he moved to a house arrest place. Yes, okay. Right? Yes. Anyway, to get back to the story, the fact is this. Before Nelson Mandela was released, the Afrikaner, this supposed refugee guy, decided to establish his own town, whites only, for the preservation of the Afrikaner culture, for the right to self-determinate. This particular refugee guy,
Yes.
who has the privilege to fly across the Atlantic as a refugee with AirPods and all.
You know,
Those
oh
little
my gosh.
Afrikaner girls,
Yes.
they look very happy, huh?
Of course.
They don't look like refugees.
No way, they are not refugees, man.
They definitely don't look like those little black kids from Congo, from East Congo. Those real refugees who don't have any food and they've got mud on their faces.
We all know that these are not actual refugees. I mean, the whole thing of the US government chartered a plane for them, and the arrival in Dallas airport.
Of these Afrikaners.
Of these Afrikaners. It's not like any other refugee arriving in the US.
No. This is like VIP.
This is a red carpet treatment.
They were greeted by the Deputy of Secretary of State, Christopher Londo. Which
Yes.
refugee gets an official to come and welcome them? Welcome to the United States of America. The Deputy Secretary of
The
State.
Deputy Secretary of State, Christopher Lando, and also the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security,
Christopher Londo.
Troy Edgar.
Troy Edgar.
Yes.
Oh, so there's a Troy Edgar.
Yes.
Who's this Deputy Secretary General? What?
Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security.
Homeland Security.
Yes.
The Deputy
Yeah.
of Homeland Security
What?
was there.
Yes.
To greet these 59 Afrikaners. And that one, Christopher Londo,
Yes. The Deputy Secretary of State.
the one who works for Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
Wow. No. We must keep them. They must pay. No, chop. I'm Afrikaner, so I'm listening just to see, really shocked to see this. Pamela Smith, I don't understand what you mean. Is Smith an Afrikaans name? Her name is Pamela Smith. She says, I'm Afrikaner. So I'm listening just to see. I don't think Smith is an Afrikaans name. But anyway, keep listening. We're still at this. But the privilege, which refugee on this planet gets sent a plane, chartered a plane, gets on the plane with AirPods and headphones and all this and backpacks and all this, and gets greeted when they land there by top officials. Top officials. My goodness. We're actually living in a world where there's some people who get that kind of treatment. And then there's like, for example, let's just throw a number here. That was 59, right?
Yeah.
And like 15 million Congolese who's lost their lives in the last 30 years. A G-side, a real G-side, that mainstream media does not report. That's been going on there for 30 years. Yes, while the rest of the freaking world comes to the Democratic Republic of Congo in Kivu to loot all those natural resources left, right, and center that they desperately need so that they can continue to aim to be interplanetary. The same freaking Elon Musk that needs the cobalt of the Democratic Republic of Congo so bad to advance his dreams, his wildest dreams. The rocket man. He's still the same rocket man who's out here saying, look at the Afrikaners. They need help.
Yes.
So he doesn't care about where he eats. He doesn't care about where he needs all that cobalt. Where he's been benefiting also, huh? Together with these apples and everybody. Whatever, that's just black. Let's get these people over there. Let them be greeted by Homeland Security and all.
Yes. And the fact is, it's like, what was the process of them actually being approved or vetted, as the South African government has said? They've been vetted as approved to be able to go. Okay, vetted is like criminal offenses and things like that. But the classification of refugees, that is not there.
As a refugee, for example, or somebody who seeks asylum, or somebody who needs help, you need to go somewhere. You need to fit a certain criteria to qualify as a refugee. You need to be politically persecuted against, politically, or any of that kind of thing, or your life is in danger, survival, and all this kind of thing. But these Afrikaners live on acres. There was one funny Afrikaner who already did an interview there in the US, who came out here to say, I've left my 5-bedroom home.
My 5-bedroom house. I left my dog. I left my mother.
And I left my cars. You left your cars. You left your 5-bedroom homes. You left your dogs. Things that Black South Africa could only dream of.
And you're saying you're being persecuted against. You weren't safe.
It's not good enough.
Because he explains that my gates of my land, they were being vandalized. Excuse me?
Well, that's because you minorities decide to leave the majority without. What do you expect, you minorities? Of course, there'll be more freaking crime towards you. People are desperate. People are sick and tired of seeing you minorities with everything, with all these freaking acres. You understand? Of course, the majority will come out here and say, we don't have freaking water, we don't have this, eggs are expensive, left, right, and center, but you boor, this is supposed to be Black South Africa. We've been in power since Madiba, since 1994, but still our lives haven't changed. Of course, some vandalizing will happen here and there.
Yes, of course, man. And this
Which is not right, but we know why they're happening.
And this guy who spoke out, one of the first ones to speak out from those 59 that went, he's saying he also owns a mining company in South Africa.
That boer. That boer who did an interview, I think it's on what?
With BBC.
With BBC?
Yes.
In the US there?
Yes, in New York.
In New York. Oh,
Yes.
New York Times.
No.
Is it on New York Times? No.
BBC.
in New York. And so he also says that he also has a mine.
He also owns a mining company.
All of this, by the way, people, let me tell you, these people are leaving South Africa. These white Boers, these white Afrikaners are leaving South Africa under the assumption that their land might be taken away.
With no compensation.
It could be taken away. They haven't taken it away yet. You haven't started suffering yet. You understand what I'm saying? They could take it. And let me tell you something a little bit about this compensation. It's by law. It's through a court. It's not just random walking up to every freaking farmer or Boer here and just tossing him out.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. And even when they say compensation, they're not saying everything. And they're not just saying immediately give. They're saying, first of all, there's a process here. It's through the court. You need to prove where did you get this land? Where are your title deeds? How did you acquire this land? What do you do that's in the interest of the public with this land? Boer, we're talking to you. These Boers, they still have the tendency. I'm talking to him, he's busy cleaning his teeth.
Yes,
Boer, I'm talking to you. This is the courtroom, huh? This is the courtroom.
They still have the tendencies.
They still have the tendency, huh? Like Julius Malema told one of those BBC reporters.
I remember that interview.
When Julius Malema told that interviewer.
Don't come here with your tendencies.
Hey, listen here. You see this? This is a revolutionary building. This is not a newsroom, this here you behave or else you jump. You don't come here with that tendency. Don't come here with that white tendency. Hey, Julius Malema, no jokes, man. I love it when people are always being real and authentic.
Yes.
Look here, this is the truth that we are saying here. We love white folks. We are not racist.
No.
We believe they should. For me as a Congolese person who knows South Africa very well, and I've traveled there my first time there in 1991, these particular Boers gave up. They gave up. It shows a spirit of cowardness. Actually, let's talk about the other strong-willed, good, upstanding, moral Afrikaners, Boers, just to balance this whole stream out, okay? So that people don't think that we are here just saying, you Boers, you crazy, you privileged, these people just be hating. We're not hating. So let's talk about these other white Boers who are pissed off.
Yeah, because the narrative of the ones that are in South Africa, they're saying there's no white G-side.
Yes.
The claim is false.
Yes.
They all say we are relatively safe in inverted commas.
Yes, well, South Africa also, you're not the most safest country.
Yes.
Huh? That's not Qatar, huh?
Because in the matter of fact, like South Africa, they have the freedom of speech. They have the courtrooms that they can go to for equality purposes. If they have some sort of a complaint, they have all of those tools available.
But the Boer...
So for this 59 people just to come out and say, okay, I'm scared there's a white G-side, and just run away, it is just pure cowardness.
Why are we hearing about this white G-side only after Elon Musk spoke to the orange man? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We should have been hearing about this white G-side when it was happening. Even before the proposal or the offer of giving you a safe place in America.
I'm even surprised
This
that
is a
even...
conditional G-side.
Isn't Elon Musk's father still here? Why isn't he also going under refugee status?
He's still benefiting from the white privilege systems that he put in place decades ago, huh? Even that Elon Musk benefited from that white privilege system. Although when he was young and then he decided to leave because the mother is what? The mother is Canadian. The mother is Canadian, the father is South African. All that. They definitely benefited from that system. Anyway, we're not out here to say you shouldn't have benefited. Doesn't matter. But also you see these Afrikaners, with all the privilege that you had for decades in that South Africa, why don't you have? You should have set yourself up, man. So that's the other thing. When I see, for example, these white Afrikaners in South Africa, because some of them actually don't have money. You get
Yeah.
some very low-class Afrikaners also.
Exactly.
With that skin also, huh?
So if it was it's a free application apparently for them to apply for the status.
Yes, but I'm not talking about application to be a refugee in the USA. I'm just talking about this particular way of life in South Africa, even way before Donald Trump became a politician. These white Afrikaners who lived a below average life.
Yes.
With all that privilege, this is who you are. You're asking me for something. You get some of them, huh?
Yeah.
In South Africa. They'll be like, please, can you help me? Look, this is a white boer. This is a white Afrikaner, this. My friend, you come from an era where you had all the freaking privilege. We couldn't even come to this country. We couldn't even go to those particular beaches there that way. We couldn't eat at those same restaurants where it said white only, huh? We couldn't walk in those neighborhoods or those malls. You come from that era. But today you're here still begging.
You're standing here.
I think you've let that privilege just consume you completely. That's another crazy part. But anyway, before we digress, there are some white Afrikaners who feel insulted by the actions taken by these supposed 59 Afrikaners who have left South Africa to go and seek refuge in the United States. They are saying to themselves, what crap is this? We always out here preaching to be deserving of this land.
Yeah.
Why would we give up? Why would we cower out? You need to fight for your land. If it were true that everything that you say you've been experiencing in South Africa, you should be out here fighting for your land. Are you the type to come out here and give up on your land? Give up on your land.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anything that should cause you to give up on your land, especially in these conditions. Now, we understand the kids of the Democratic Republic of Congo or of Somalia or of Haiti. Those are real war-torn countries. That's a war zone. That's a difficult life.
Yeah.
Some of those people, they get bombs that are dropping on displacement camps. That's a real G-site, man. You see limbs. There you see limbs. There's no limbs here in
Not on bodies, by the
my
way.
friend. Please,
Yeah.
relax. So anyway, some Afrikaners are pissed off. I like how you articulate this topic. Keep pushing Pan-Africanism forward. Thank you very much. We're pushing Pan-Africanism forward because we believe that we've been disadvantaged for the longest time.
For far too long.
Africa as a whole. Just because we are here pushing Pan-Africanism and wanting to live in an equal society, in an equal world, it doesn't mean that we want bad for the other people. We just want an equal playing field. So even this that South Africa is currently doing now, where they want repatriation of land without compensation, is because South Africa is the most unequal country on the planet. We need to repatriate this land so that we can balance out this inequality. It is because of this freaking inequality that the crime rate is so freaking high. Some people are way too desperate and some are walking around with Boerewors types of stomachs here.
Boerewors is going to cost them a lot of dollars in that US.
It's going to cost them a lot.
Hey.
Those particular Afrikaners who are now in the US.
And this guy who did the interview with BBC, he's already said that they are starting from the bottom. Their lives won't be the same as what they had in South Africa.
Yes.
So what are you doing? Why?
That is the truth. That is the truth. And we expect that. Those Americans have attitude, huh?
Yeah.
So some of those Americans will be like, what? Man, you moving in? You're moving in, right? Welcome to the United States of America, boor.
You are the guys.
I am the boss here, okay? I am the boss here. I'm the father of all the kids of this freaking neighborhood. I don't care if they are your biological kids. Those little girls will have to listen to me here. I am the Uncle Tom here. Yes. Those Americans won't play games with them. They have to start from the bottom. They have to prove themselves as they go up that freaking social ladder.
Yes.
It's true, man. Americans are also feeling like... some Americans will actually... Unless wherever these people end up living, there's some good, kind-hearted Christian folks who are just like, oh... It's so shameful what was happening. But those people aren't stupid also. Those Americans. They'll be like, sorry, there was no G-side in your country, huh?
Yeah.
You're a smart one, huh? You applied, huh?
You got a free ride, huh?
You took advantage of the Trump administration, huh? You understand what I'm saying?
Hey.
But these Americans will also be like, you need to prove yourself in this society.
Yeah.
You need to prove yourself.
You got here for free, but now when you're here, you need to work hard.
There's no way I'm letting my kid get that freaking accent, huh?
But
That Afrikaner accent.
Huh?
You better tell your kids to understand the lingo.
Straighten up.
We're talking about cookout. We're not talking about a braai. What is a braai? It's not a braai here. It's a cookout. It's a barbecue. It's not a braai. It's soccer. It's not football. It's football. It's not soccer.
There's no rugby.
There's no rugby
it's
here.
football.
We're talking about football, American football. It's not rugby here. What are you guys playing here? No. You're messing up the grass here, man. Because the South Africans, they'll be like, let's play some rugby here. Cricket? What sport is this? We keep it light. We clip it light.
But they're going to be provided basically with everything as they arrive in that US.
Yes.
They have meal coupons.
Where are the African Americans
Oh my gosh.
who are living on some form of welfare there in America? There's some Americans. These Boers will live a better life than certain Americans.
Yeah.
Woo. Hello. Like I was about to say, those Americans also there who will notice this group of Afrikaners landing will be like, we're not stupid. Let me get on Google. Let me get on YouTube. Let me research this supposed genocide that's happening in the country for them to be here. And then those Americans in their own bedrooms, be like, give me a name of one of these Afrikaners, an Afrikaans name.
This one who did the interview with BBC, his name is Charles Kleinhuis.
Charles Kleinhuis said that he came from a genocide. There's no genocide in South Africa. We don't see anything like this online. I'd be like, these ones just took advantage of the Trump administration, of the offer. They're getting some form of stimulus check. They're getting our stimulus check.
Yes.
They need to build themselves up from scratch, and Homeland Security will not be out here risking their lives. Maybe Elon Musk must pay for them. Not the taxpayers' money. Elon Musk must take it out of his own pocket.
Yeah, he must give them the houses and pay them and pay for that yearly thing.
He's the one who initiated this move. It's because of him that everybody's out here making sure that all the Afrikaners. And they also said that this is the first of many Afrikaners that are coming to your America. Okay, Americans, start getting used to this. There's another part of Black South Africa. Although we want Black South Africa to come out here and fight against the narrative that's being pushed out here to say that there's a white genocide in South Africa, some other Black South Africans are saying, my friend, they must take all of them. There's too many sides to this funny story. Huh? Some Black South Africans are like, they must take all of them. All of them can go.
Yeah, it's just, they were just, for me, they're just complete opportunists. The fact that they just said, okay, Trump administration, there's a white genocide happening here. I'm going to take advantage. Opportunist. That is all that they are.
Black South Africa, let's bring another aspect to this.
Yeah.
Hello my people, hello my Pan-Africanist guys, double tap the screen, support the live if you can, send some super chat. We want to see the first one here. Let's see who's here. I even forgot about these freaking super chats. But anyway, let's keep going. Thank you for double tapping, whoever you are. Thank you for double tapping, appreciate you. Double tap, like the live. All of you guys, thank you very much. Let me give you some more. When Michael Langley, the general of Afrikaans, came out here to spill some crap, to talk shit about Kapitein Ibrahim Traore, the only president in Africa.
The revolutionary leader.
The revolutionary leaders. Africans got pissed off. Africans said to themselves, we will not allow this freaking general to come out here and push a wrong narrative, because this is exactly how they started with Muammar Gaddafi before they took him out. During the administration of that cheerleader called Barack Obama. They push freaking narratives out here so that they can then do their utmost best to freaking conduct some sort of a freaking operation to get rid of anybody that comes out here and stand up against them, against the freaking system. We don't want Africa to be united. This particular individual called Ibrahim Traore is out here stirring up some crap. He has the audacity to kick France out. No. 20 freaking coups, assassination attempts, left, right, and center. Oh my gosh. Michael Langley comes out here to spew these freaking lies, to push this freaking wrong narrative. Africans got pissed off from all over the world,
Yes, they're united against the narrative of what the West is trying to push.
Yes. It was beautiful to see. It's still beautiful to see. We haven't stopped. There's another march, a global march, coming up on the 25th of May this month. They're organizing it, especially in that Ghana.
Hey.
Yes, so more protests, because you guys didn't hear much about the protests that took part in on the 30th of April. All over the place, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in South Africa, in London, all over the place, in Jamaica. Thank you, Jamaica. Jamaica, we love you so much. Jamaica, you are still remembering where you're from. Jamaica, these Jamaicans have morals.
Yes, they do.
I love these Jamaican people because they never forget their roots.
They are for African unity for sure.
So Africans came out here to decisively unite and stand against those false narrative of Michael Langley. Now, I was thinking, the allegation of this supposed white genocide that's happening in South Africa against white folks, why didn't the Africans come out here to try to protect South Africans against this freaking supposed genocide against Afrikaners? Dun, dun. You know, we have to confront ourselves also first, before we
Yes.
completely unite. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge. You cannot unite apples and oranges.
Yeah, that's true.
That is what's happening between Black South Africa and Africans. Black South Africa likes to isolate itself.
They very we've gone through our own struggle, and now we are just enjoying our lives, not bothering ourselves with what's happening outside the country.
Black South Africa thinks they've made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't care about what's happening outside the country. Stay in your own country, you makwere. Don't come to South Africa. That's the language, that's the lingo that comes out of the mouth of certain Black South Africans out here. Hey, you must go back to Zimbabwe, okay? Leave us, we are suffering, we are trying to build our country. Go and build your own country in Congo. Leave us alone. Do you know that some of our troops passed away in that Congo? Go back to your country. What are you talking here? That's Black South Africa for you. Because they've you remember Chidima?
Yes.
Chidima, Miss Universe.
Yes, they socially, culturally, they just attacked her online.
They discriminated against her because of
Yes.
what her parents did. Chidima, if you guys don't know, is Miss Universe. Not Miss Denmark. We don't know who's Miss Denmark.
I don't know.
Chidima grew up in South Africa, born in South Africa, but her parents did some sort of thing with her ID. And so now it came out here to say that, sorry, we don't know how you acquired your South African citizenship. We are revoking it. You're not allowed to participate in this particular pageant to represent South Africa, okay? I'm sorry. You need to vacate. Anyway, she resigned by herself. Black South Africa came at her just because her father is Nigerian. And her mother is what? Mozambican.
Mozambique, yeah.
But she was born in South Africa. Black South Africa came out here to take time to spend energy to attack this black queen
Yeah.
who grew up there, who speaks that language. And Africa didn't like it. Even before Chidima, there's always been certain events here that shows a spirit of xenophobia between South Africa. It has happened twice on a huge scale where a lot of people have lost their lives
Yes.
in that South Africa. So all of these different types of Afrophobic types of events has somehow left the entire Africa with a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to South Africa.
Yeah, because the xenophobic behavior, the xenophobic chants that they do sometimes, especially on obviously on social media, it's too much.
It's unnecessary.
Yes.
It's the reason why you see now Africa is able to unite against a supposed Michael Langley who's attacking Captain Ibrahim Traore. And Africa is not sleeping. Africa heard what Trump said about the Boers that are apparently being unalived, the supposed G-side that the white Boers are going through. It's on the news. They see these privileged Boers leaving and flying because apparently the black South Africa is doing this to them. But not only is Africa not freaking interested, except us perhaps maybe, even the black South Africans themselves, they're not out here denouncing those comments.
No. But
When Michael Langley said that, the Burkina Faso people and African came up there and said, no, it's wrong, it's not true. But when this narrative is being pushed, that has the potential to further divide, further make South Africa even more unequal.
yeah,
South Africa is quiet.
nothing to say.
They're accusing them of murdering these Boers, but they are quiet. It's weekend. They're not here. Usually they are here during the week. Today there's only 49 people here. Usually they're here during the week, 300 of them. And they'll just be in the freaking comment section. Yeah, talk about your own country. Talk about your own country. First, you people must go and unite in Africa. Leave us alone. We will come afterwards.
Hey.
They talk too much, those
Please.
those South Africans. Huh?
They have like the normal citizens of Black South Africa, they should be saying something. It's not only the government making these 5-minute speeches saying no, there's no sort of refugee status that these white Afrikaners went to US for. It's not valid. It's untrue of the claims that Donald Trump has made against South Africa, saying that there's a white G-side.
Yes. There's a small little mind here. You see them?
Yeah.
This one who said, reported, like he reported the channel or something. There's a small little mind here who doesn't appreciate the realness and authenticity that we are delivering here. So I'm going to do this small little mind a favor and completely block them so that they just get up out of here.
Don't have to be bothered.
They don't have the stamina to take the truth. They don't have the stamina to take it, to have a robust conversation. Yes, he's eaten. He's gone. Bye. I'm so sorry. Go and find another authentic account. Anyway, we appreciate robust conversations. All he had to do was just speak his piece and say, you know what? I disagree here. I don't disagree here. I agree here. What are your thoughts here, Professor Rules? Professor Rules. Professor Rules. I understand this is a master class. What are your thoughts about this? And then I'll come out and I'll acknowledge him. I'll say this, that. Then I'll invite him. I would invite him to join us on X.
Yeah.
Join us on X, where we have spaces sometimes where people are in and we can conversate. You can respond. You can question me. You can try to challenge the rules. No problem. No problemo. But don't come up here with these funny little tricks. He must be a Boer. Could he be a Boer?
Possibly.
Anywho, let's go on. So that comparison is the one I've made, is the one I saw all loud and clear. Look how South Africa is not fighting for itself against these false allegations. We know the false allegations.
Of
and
course.
Africa also is like, we are busy with Traore now. we don't have time for this Boer situation here.
These free riders that want to just go to US. No way, man.
Since we're still talking about the US, since this whole show has involved Donald Trump, let's talk a little bit about his recent trip that now just ended today
Yes.
in Abu Dhabi. His trip to the Middle East. Whoo! You guys are all witness. Your social media is buzzing. If you do follow politics or geopolitics, you've seen the extravagance, the luxury, the reception, the hospitality of the Arabs.
The glitz and the glamour that has, that red carpet that we kept on walking on. Oof.
My friend, let me read this beautiful comment. It just gave me some motivation. Thank you, Mike Miller. Appreciate you, Mike Miller. I'm South African. You are awesome, man. Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, for coming in. We appreciate you. Please subscribe. Become a member. Guys, you have to become a member. I know becoming a member requires a small little fee or whatever, but don't think about the fee. Think about what you will be getting, right? Raw, completely real, true, authentic, unscripted,
Yes.
unscripted conversations. This is for the public. Just imagine when you're a member only. We get to do this type of talks too at the gym, in the pool, on the basketball court,
Yes.
in some lobby, in the car. You get the behind the scenes of our lifestyle. I'm sure you've visited the account. Follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, on TikTok. We're all over the place, same username. But please become a member. So thank you, Mike Miller.
Yes,
Thank you,
much
Mike
love,
Miller.
Mike
Appreciate
Miller.
you.
Thank you so much.
The Arabs.
The Arabs know how to wine and dine and present their countries.
Bling bling, huh?
Yo.
There's no way in the world that even any president can receive a welcome like that.
No, not even the other Biden presidents have received welcomes. Barack Obama. Not like that, man.
The same Barack Obama who the Chinese said, you must get off from the other side of the plane. Do you remember when he got off from the cockpit or whatever they call it?
The back part with the staff.
The S part of the freaking plane, man. And you still had that Chinese person saying, but this is our country. She was still arguing with them. And Barack Obama tried to play it cool. Hey, how you doing? Even Trump came out then and said, did you see how they treated him there? I would have told.
I would have told the pilot, get up and go. I'm flying out of here.
Turn this freaking plane around. We're going back to Washington. You said Trump said that, huh?
That is charisma. That is what should have been done.
You have to tell these people how to treat you. You have to stand up for what you freaking deserve. You know, the Arabs, they hear it when Donald Trump is in the Oval Office and he's saying, hey, the United States deserve the best, man.
Yes.
They already know that, look here, this is Donald Trump. Huh? We've heard his rhetoric. We've heard him say this, say that. He will not take, you need to bring out the freaking camel. Bring out the stallions. Bring out the horses, the stallions. Bring out the freaking Tesla. He's coming with Elon Musk. Make sure we have 2 Teslas there also. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Saudi Arabia. What's his name? Mohammed bin what? Of Saudi, the crown priest, the king.
King Abdul, no?
Not Abdul.
Oh.
It's Mohammed, MBK or MBK. I know it's at my tongue. I know this guy for a long time. I've always liked his tenacity. In fact, when he came into power, when he started ruling Saudi Arabia, I like the fact that when he came out here, he just arrested all the corrupt officials. Stay in that freaking hotel. Ritz-Carlton. Dome. At least they gave you Ritz-Carlton. That one, MBK, right?
Mohammed bin Salman, Al Saud.
MBK.
Yeah.
Mohammed bin
Salman.
Yes. MBZ. Yeah, him, Mohammed bin Salman. Him, the ruler of Saudi.
Yes.
He's strong, huh? He's very disciplined. He
Yes.
doesn't take crap. But they pulled out the purple carpet on that plane.
Yes.
Royal treatment arrival. That was on another level to secure $600 billion worth of
Investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Actually, with promises to take it all the way up to a freaking trillion. Yeah. The U.S. Trump, he don't know. I don't know what you're saying there. Tyrone says, keep it going. Appreciate you, my brother. Get that boer. Says, okay. Those refugees will find out one day that black Americans are not as docile as those blacks back home.
Hey, they're going to find that out pretty soon.
Who said that? Ibrahim.
Ibrahim. I know this Ibrahim.
Those refugees that left, those white Boers that left South Africa to go to the U.S. will find out one day that those black Americans are not as docile as those blacks. South Africans that they left back home. It's true, huh? Those ones will play a game there. But anyway, Trump. And then he went to Qatar.
Yes.
To see the emir of Qatar. Qatar is such a small nation, but they played well. It's so clean.
Yeah, Qatar is a very clean country, that Doha city.
You know, actually, about Saudi Arabia, the moment that Air Force One entered the airspace of Saudi Arabia, fighter jets came around. Talk about buttering the men up. Boom. It's like all three GCC, all three of these nations, it's like they spoke, huh?
Yeah. Like,
Because
what can we do?
it's like nobody outshined anyone. Everybody came out here top notch.
Yes, they all yeah, they did, yeah.
It's like they spoke. It says, look here, we may be different countries here in this GCC, but let's show the rest of the freaking world that we the Arabs, we don't play games with our palaces, we don't play games with our roads, we don't play games with our marble airports, and we don't play games with the protocol.
Yes.
With the protocol. And we are the ballers. We don't play games with money. Let's put a T on every freaking thing here when he arrives here. There's a T here, there's a T trillion. There's a T,
Really?
T. Oh, Saudi Arabia, investments secured or whatever, worth 600 billion,
yeah,
but with hopes
yes.
of taking it to $1 trillion. Not a billion.
Yes.
Trillion. Forget these freaking millions, man. We're not talking millions here. We're not even talking about that $400 million plane that you freaking social media people are out here going crazy about.
Yeah.
You understand? And then he goes to Qatar, he secures a deal with $1.2 trillion.
Shoo.
Donald Trump. He comes to the UAE there and then he does his thing in Abu Dhabi where he secures $1.4 trillion. This guy just made the US deals and brought money back to the US in those amounts, almost $3 trillion. Which freaking president has ever done this?
He's a businessman. He's a business mogul.
That's insane right there. I mean, I've always liked Trump, and there's certain things I disagree with. For example, this particular refugee thing that's happening here. I don't think those are refugees, but I had to pick between him and Kamala. Listen, but at the end of the day, man, the mister is delivering here.
Yeah.
Every single American, whether they voted for Donald Trump or not, when they see the way the world respects him, when they see the way the Arab nation respects him, all of them are coming out here saying, that's our president. Whether they like it or not, whether they will never be on social media to really admit it. Even those that voted for Kamala, those Democrats, in their hearts of hearts, they're saying, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's Air Force One. That's
Yeah.
America.
That is the way it's supposed to be greeted.
Yeah, I bet you, all those Democrats. But you see, these Democrats, a lot of them have evil inside them. They'll never come out here and be real and authentic with what's happening. They're still finding reasons. Meanwhile, back in America, while Donald Trump is securing these $1 trillion deals, in America, these freaking Democrats are out here still spitting his name down to the ground, criticizing left, right, and center. In fact, even before they show the show,
Yeah.
they were saying, do you think they'll pull out a red carpet for him?
Let's probably see it in it or something like that.
Some of these freaking Democrats and these news outlets, do you think they'll pull out a red carpet? Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
You got more than just the red carpets.
You got purple carpet.
Eh.
You know, purple carpet is reserved for royalty. It's a royal. What about Abu Dhabi? When he was working out, they brought these young girls out. You know, the Arabs, they pride themselves with their hair.
Yes.
Hello? OnlyFans girls. Listen, you OnlyFans girls. Listen here. This is not OnlyFans type of a woman, huh? You understand what I'm saying? These are women who belong to great families. These are the ones they use to say, welcome, Mr. President. They're busy moving their hair like this. Welcome, Mr. President. This is not an OnlyFans chick.
Yes. It's a sign of its respect, its beauty.
An Arab woman really prides herself because of her hair.
Yes.
And when you see those girls dressed in white, a sign of purity, just doing this. Even watching it on TV, I was like, whoa, that's a freaking welcome.
Yeah,
Even
it's-
when Trump walked past them and he went like this, you could tell this guy is moved.
Yes,
He says,
yes.
wow, you people really went full out. When Trump arrived at the palace in Abu Dhabi, when the beast was just going in,
That beast is hectic, huh?
the way they designed it or the way they orchestrated that entry was only the beast. None of these envoy or what do you call this motorcade? No motorcade. They came to a spot where the motorcade was not entering the palace.
Just stopped.
It must stay outside of the freaking palace, man. Only the beast was driving through the palace, and then they had that shot with the drone.
Yes.
When you look at that palace, first of all. Look at that palace. And you see the beast. Never seen this before. And to top it all off also, this is the first time that a US president has ever visited Doha, Qatar.
Ever.
Ever. This is a historic visit. A US president has never visited Qatar. This is the first time. Even the emir there.
Yeah.
It's just put Qatar also on another map. On another map. The same Qatar that's here also trying to...
Put a name for itself, yeah.
Yes. And also mediate between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Exactly.
You understand? You see the mines, where the mines are? So next time, these puppets from Africa, from Congo, and from Rwanda come to Qatar, whether it's the freaking delegations or if it's the puppets themselves, come to run to Qatar, they'll know that, wait a minute, we just saw what you people did for
Donald Trump.
They'll listen. That's why you see the first time it was the Emir who sat with Felix Tshisekedi, the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. It was the Emir.
Yes.
After that,
Delegations.
you people deal with those African countries, okay? Look, please, I have a branch. I'm telling you, man. But just look at it. I was watching this whole visit by Donald Trump into the Middle East.
Yeah.
So you look at that, this is America with Donald Trump, they're talking trillions of dollars, right? And at the same time, you cannot help, as a Pan-Africanist, you cannot help but to turn your back around and look down there in Africa. The Africans. What a contrast. What a contrast. It's marbles on this side. It's fighter jets. It's people gifting each other $400 million types of Boeings.
Yes.
It's girls with the hair, with long hair, no wigs. I'm sorry, that was a little bit below.
That's under the belt.
Sorry. Do I have everybody's attention, please? And you look on this side, zero infrastructure, zero healthcare. Oh my God, poor education. These airports don't even have. There are no presidential airports. Abu Dhabi, wherever Trump landed.
Yes, it's that private one.
That's a private presidential airport. That's not the commercial airport of Abu Dhabi. That's reserved for presidential people only.
Yes.
Even when he came straight out of the Air Force One.
Yeah.
It's like, you see the way they bring these stairs
Yeah.
to the plane.
Yeah.
And then the person walks outside. His was obviously a huge, like, it's like a corridor.
Oh.
It's like a corridor that got attached to the freaking plane, man. He's walking straight into like a mall type of a situation.
Yeah.
It's not a tiny little 2-meter corridor where he must walk out. No, man, he's already walking into a freaking hole from the plane.
Yes.
Just shows you how they build these things. And
So you don't really feel that heat.
You don't feel the heat. Now, some places also you don't need to feel the heat. You don't need to experience the exterior. But you can see even from the duty free. Look at that thing. It's attaching all the way to the door.
Yeah.
Not like that. This looks like the plane is attached to the freaking building. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, as a Pan-Africanist, you look at all of that and then you think and say, where are we as Africans?
We need to also strive to be able to better our country like that, to be able to receive a welcome out of respect.
We need
dignity
we
like
need
that.
water. We need water.
Something so simple.
First, we need water, Aline. I'm sorry we are laughing, but we need water first.
Sometimes the simple things that we need it's laughable. It's
How can
something
we-
you can fix so easily.
How can we think about marbles when we don't have freaking electricity, man? How can we? There's no education. That's why when we see Ibrahim Traore go to Moscow to meet Putin, he's saying, I don't want aid. Captain Ibrahim Traore to Putin, Vladimir Putin. I don't want aid. I want knowledge.
Yes.
I want you people to continue, because there are already some Burkinabe people that are studying in Russia.
Yes.
Me as Captain Ibrahim Traore, the youngest president in Africa, what would mean the most to me and the people of Burkina Faso is if somehow we can get the knowledge to be able to go back to our country in Burkina Faso and duplicate that which that you are doing. I will continue to work and give bursaries to Burkinabe people to come to Russia, to Moscow, to study, to have the knowledge so that we can do it ourselves.
Yes.
Understand? Into science, technology, and all these types of stuff. And also, please, it will be even better if you, the Russians, if you, Vladimir Putin, can come to Burkina Faso and duplicate those same types of university there, so that the people of Burkina Faso can also start to learn these things. Education first.
Yeah. He's saying, help me with better infrastructure within the country. So build the buildings, build the infrastructure of universities so that my Burkinabe people can learn.
Yes, not just the buildings or not just the infrastructures. The infrastructure, we can do it on ourselves. We're already building 5,000 kilometers worth of roads in Burkina Faso per year now. Those are ambitions, those are aims. When France was here, we've only had 3,000 kilometers worth of road. Only one freaking road here in Burkina Faso. Our cities, our provinces were never connected. Now I'm doing that as Captain Ibrahim Traore. That's one of the reasons why my people love so much. So when Marco Langley comes out here and pushes wrong freaking narratives of corruption, to hell with him. He must apologize. I like that speech, huh?
He must apologize.
He said, this Michael Langley must apologize.
But I think there was some report that he also said, where I will not apologize. He just tweeted something or something.
He said, Ibrahim Traore asking me to apologize is an insult. You still having your face around here is an insult to us. We don't want to see your face anymore, you Michael Langley. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
A complete lie. Because the reason why Africans love Captain Ibrahim Traore so much is because we see what he's doing for the people of Burkina Faso. For far too long, imperialistic country, neo-colonialism, especially France, has been out here to steal and loot all of these colonies. Look at Niger. All of that uranium was being used for the good and benefit and interest of France. Not of the Burkina Bay people, who 90% of them were still living in darkness. Look, we give you uranium so that you can power up your freaking plants and you are able to sell this electricity, this power, this energy to the rest of the freaking world for a higher price. But you're out here neglecting us and you want to say you are partners. No, we don't think so. We need new partners up in here. We need to separate ourselves from this so-called bloc called the ECOWAS.
That ECOWAS is a bunch of nonsense, just like the African Union. Separate yourselves and do better, Ibrahim Traore.
What is this Upgrade 101? Upgrade 101, is that English or what is that? No respect for any orange or what? I don't know what that means.
I don't know what.
But anyway, it was a wonderful experience. It was just, it put it all back in perspective to see how the reception, the hospitality of how these Arabs, it looks like this Western nation, they respect the Arabs more than they respect the Africans, huh?
But no, I'm sorry. That is honestly a given. Because the West, they are just they are using the African countries for their own benefit. And they're still funding them. So how? They're not funding really Arab nations.
No. Arab nations funds them. The Arabs are out here to give the West money.
So why would
we said 1 trillion, huh? We use T's here.
Yes.
We don't use billions and we don't use millions.
Yes.
We use T's. We've been able to use our genius brains to take the oil that we've had, all the discoveries of the natural resources that we have, to build cities, to build things that look like the freaking future. Soon, we'll have taxis that will be flying. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
in that UAE, I'm telling you, there will be taxis that will be flying from the airport. Some of these African puppets will want to take those taxis. Excuse me, puppet. These flying taxis aren't for politicians. This is for the masses. You want joy rides when you come to the UAE? You puppets are not allowed to leave your nations until you get some form of infrastructure over there. I don't want to see any freaking puppet in the Middle East taking photos. It's puppets. You people should. It's puppet William Ruto. Yes, William Ruto is MBS. MBS is the abbreviation. Yes, Ruto's consolation. At least I am a doctor. Yes, what that Ruto, Kenya.
Yeah.
They don't want him.
They tell him, go Ruto. Ruto must go.
The Kenyans don't want Ruto.
We are even throwing shoes at you, Ruto. Get the idea, get the picture. We don't want you anymore.
The Kenyans don't give a crap whether this free speech is being suppressed. They come out here and make it be known that Ruto must go.
Yeah.
That rhymed, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hello, Kenyans. You bring it out in me. It's true. It's the tenacity of the Gen Zs there in Kenya. They come out here and they fight for their future.
Yes.
They're not sleeping. They follow politics. The Gen Zs of Kenya, of Nairobi, of that beautiful African Eastern country, they follow politics. I wish that the Gen Zs of Cameroon or even of Equatorial Guinea would also come out here and exercise the same bravery, the same strength that the Kenyans are showing here. Although we also know that even in that Cameroon with Paul Biya, free speech is suppressed.
Yes.
Free speech is suppressed. That's why these puppets, these dictators, they stay in power for decades. This is why an African nation perhaps can never host a foreign leader this way.
Oh my gosh, it will take the entire 2-year budget to be able to
2-year
do
budget.
Whatever.
2-year budget. Hey.
Even to come close
We're still dealing with.
to decent.
We still need hospitals and schools and water, like I said. These people can never pull out a red carpet. Why are you going to put this red carpet? On which tarmac? Look at your freaking tarmac, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
You're going to cover the potholes on the tarmac.
You'll see the potholes through those freaking carpets. You see, whether it's red carpet or purple carpet, you'll see there's a pothole here.
Yes.
And those puppets, they'll put those carpets out hours before the plane lands.
It becomes dusty.
It becomes freaking dusty. A puppet. You were not supposed to roll out this carpet yet until you see the plane.
Yes.
Until the plane touches down on the tarmac and you see the plane is going there. It's going to turn around and come here. Now you roll the carpet. Okay, puppet? Because this freaking carpet here was it raining here?
Who walked here, man?
Africans have a lot to work on. It's my people. I have the right to critique them. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge. Here, we are raw with it. We are real and authentic with it.
Yes.
If you don't call these puppets out for their corruption and for the freaking things that they are doing, they will never change. That's why I will come out here and I'll call it spade the way that it is. We're not going to come out here and beat around the bush and pretend when freaking millions of people are displaced. Here, it's unapologetic. All of these freaking puppets must always hear, they must always know that we, the African people, we've had enough. All right?
Enough is enough.
We don't have time to be freaking scripted. Just think about it. You have the content. Just think about the strange part of it. You can speak. Pick up the freaking mic and call them out. And at the same time, do your best to awaken the spirit of the African Gen Zs. It's true. It's that simple. Let's not talk too much. It's not about being politically correct. People need basic things here. Look at the white folks. Look at the white Afrikaners. They're being flown across the Atlantic. You African puppet or you African person, you want to be politically correct.
It just brings me back, these politically correct, you want to follow the straight and narrow and, follow the procedures as a black South African or black African. It is just like, and now these white Afrikaners, these boors, they said, screw that. There's an opportunity here.
Yes.
Trump is saying something, so he's going against South Africa in some way. I can use this advantage. Take my free ride.
White Afrikaners are not sleeping. Even this whole time while we're talking, even before the supposed offer for them to be refugees in the United States.
Yes.
The white Boer, the white Afrikaner, the white man in South Africa has been out here to make sure that he annexes the Western Cape from the rest of South Africa. They have plans to make sure that they annex, that they separate the RSA. They want Cape independence.
Yes.
They want Robben Island and the beautiful nature of the mother city, Cape Town, to be a country on its own autonomy, to call the shots by its own, not to allow these black South Africans out here who've been out here for 30 years full of freaking corruption to lead them. They don't want that. So
that's Phil Craig.
Phil Craig, yes, a UK-born national, a Mulungu. He doesn't even have a South African citizenship. He only has a South African permanent residency, but he's out here with a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel. They're not playing games here. These Cape independence.
Yeah, man, they are going for what they want. They are sending. They're supposed to be sending those delegations to Washington D.C. to ask for assistance on how to be able to annex.
Okay, let's connect the dots. Here. So Cape independence in South Africa that consists of mostly these white Afrikaners who are also refugees are out here. Dutch power, yes, they're out here playing victim and at the same time flying over to the US, and at the same time they're doing their utmost best to annex the Western Cape.
Yeah.
And they're also flying to the orange man who's already decisively came out here and let it known that he's for them.
Yeah.
Black South Africa is out drinking somewhere on this Friday. You understand what I'm saying?
These people are making moves on South Africa, and that beautiful South Africa. Yeah, come on,
South
guys.
Africa is beautiful, huh? It's only when you leave South Africa, you black South African, that you realize that you've been taking that place for granted. That Cape Town is one of the best cities in the freaking world. Yes. We are the boss in South Africa? Are you a black South African? Yes. Yes, but that Cape Town, that Table Mountain.
You.
When you stand on Table Mountain like this and you look at the mother city, woo!
It is beautiful.
You know, up there on Table Mountain, when you're on top there, and you don't look towards the city, towards the sea, you look towards the mountain above. What's on this side?
Yeah.
There's plenty more mountains in the distance.
The range, the mountain ranges.
Yeah, the mountain range and so many things, and it's so freaking beautiful. I have had the privilege to climb Table Mountain over 20 times. Back in the days when I was a full-on athlete. Now I'm a grown-ass man with gray hair, but I don't mind. I'm still young at heart. It's so beautiful up there, huh?
It's so beautiful. Like, my favorite thing of Cape Town is, honestly, when I'm landing in Cape Town, that part where the plane has to take a U-turn and go and has to turn back to land at Cape Town International. That site is beautiful because you see the ocean, you see everything. And the time of day, sometimes the sunset.
So it turns also towards, Table View side. Into the sea, possibly towards close to those Robben Islands.
Yes, and makes that nice little U-turn and you dip in and then it goes into Cape Town International. It's beautiful.
Let me read a very important comment that came out here, and I didn't have the chance to read it, but it makes total sense. I hope all black South Africans are listening. Here we go. I'm in South Africa, and I think the whole of Africa has to stand up and revolt against these old folks who are just there, not doing anything for their people. This particular person is talking about African puppets.
Yes.
We don't have any heads of states in Africa. We have puppets that have been here for their own selfish greed, sitting on these thrones, these seats, for decades. In Cameroon, in Equatorial Guinea, in Rwanda. Rwandese, come down. And in Congo, Brazzaville, in Djibouti. That Djibouti likes to hide, huh? They also have a dictator type of guy down there.
Yeah.
Who's been in there for 38 years in that Djibouti. Yes, a lot of African puppets who've been here for decades, doing absolutely nothing for the people. If I catch anybody out here having respect for some of these puppets, I will lose my shit. You understand what I'm saying?
No, man, these puppets, they don't have a leg to stand on anymore. They need to just be taken out of their positions, their so-called positions.
These puppets don't care about our opinion. especially that African Union of an institution, that AU that gets its money from the European Union. The European Union is out here, led by France, to continue to fund 60% of whatever the African Union wants, that funding.
Yeah.
So therefore, of course, this particular African Union will come out here and only push policies and things in the interest of the Europeans themselves, the colonizers.
Of course,
Not
man.
for the good and better of these supposed puppets. Let Rwanda and Congo fight that freaking war over there. That conflict serves us best. It creates a freaking gateway for us to come out and continue to loot the creme de la creme. Democratic Republic of Congo, with all its $24 trillion worth of untapped natural resources, we, the European nations, should be able to benefit of that. These freaking monkeys don't know what to do with their natural resources. Look at them. We should control them. We should continue to use that particular Rwanda as the gateway to those blood minerals. That's what we should do.
Yes.
You understand? So African Union, come here. You don't have any backbone. You are a puppet. You are a lapdog. We'll give you money. This is what you do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, there are coups in West Africa. Use that freaking block, that ECOWAS, and make sure that you conduct a freaking military operation. Better yet, if you cannot do it because social media is big nowadays, because these coups that are happening in that 2022, social media is becoming too crazy. These African folks are awakening. They are awake now. Oh, crap. Okay, fine. Forget that. We don't want to cause some unnecessary chaos out here. We're going to use Alassane Ouattara from Ivory Coast. That's a puppet. That's an obedient, proper puppet. You understand? Ivory Coast, Alassane Ouattara.
Alassane Ouattara, he just says, yes, boss. Yes, croissant. Yes, croissant. I will do so, croissant. You can enter from this way into Burkina Faso, croissant.
Croissant. By the way, croissant is Macron.
Oh, yes.
Hope you guys got that. That's croissant. That's not Macron. Alassane Ouattara, the head of state. Why do I keep calling this freaking puppet head of states? That's so wrong. This puppet is out here. It's worse than a puppet because it's out here actually working with the enemy.
Yes.
Use my country going this way to enter the Sahel to destabilize that young man, that Ibrahim Traore is pissing us off. All the puppets in Africa that have been in power for decades definitely don't like Ibrahim Traore. He's making them look bad. This particular young man, this 37-year-old young man, the youngest president on the planet, who has the sentiment, who has the attention of the entire African continent, he's making us look bad. Me, Museveni, who's been in power for 40 years as the president, or rather the puppet of Uganda. That Ibrahim Traore is making us look bad.
He's basically putting everything what I have built for myself as Museveni, my own wealth. He's making it such a bad thing.
He's making us look bad, this boy. We wish some of those coups would succeed. We wish some of those attempts would actually work. We're still waiting for this.
That is why they will not say anything in support of Traore in the media at all. They were told to keep quiet. Do not say anything about that Ibrahim Traore.
Just like they ignored everything Thomas Sankara had to say in African Union Conference in 1984 before they decided to take him out. They're not out here to say anything that would help or support or push the mission forward. Anything that would support this particularly young man who's out here to make us look bad, we are not up for it. We shall keep our mouth closed. And whenever any one of our puppets stands up in any one of our parliaments to come and speak and say, look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing to try to convince us into joining that freaking movement, we will give him a dirty look, a crazy side eye. That's because there are certain politicians, should I call them politicians or puppets? There are certain puppets here in certain parliaments of Africa who are starting to get some form of epiphany, but they don't have any power. So they come out here in parliament and they say, look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. While these puppets think they are trying to do the good thing, to gain the support of the African folks so that they can also go viral on TikTok, maybe. They want us Pan-Africanists to come out here and say, I like that puppet down there in Equatorial Guinea. I like that puppet down there in Kenya. No, Sorry, we're not here to acknowledge any form of puppeteering. So you should see the reaction of all the other puppets in the congregation. Should I say congregation? Not congregation. In that hall. You know, that's not a congregation.
It's just a gathering.
Maybe it's a congregation or some form of cult.
Oof.
You understand? Huh? They look at this individual like, what the hell are you talking about, Ibrahim Traore?
Keep quiet.
They do that sound. You see that African, shut your mouth. Ibrahim Traore.
That sound, that sound, it speaks volumes to the world.
Yes.
If you know an African and he does that sound, hey, it's 1,000 words in 2 seconds.
No puppet has ever been invited to any country on the planet the way Ibrahim Traore was invited to Russia. We will send a Boeing for you, young man. You have dignity, you have integrity, you're a man of honor, you're the revolutionary type. Me, Vladimir Putin, I see something special in you. I'll send some fighting jets too. Okay? Come.
Yes.
All the puppets did not like it. All the puppets were like, oh my gosh.
Why is he getting that reception? Why is he allowed to have that sort of a welcome into Russia?
It only takes somebody who has decided to truly, genuinely dedicate their lives for their people should be acknowledged like that.
Yes.
And God will come out here and make sure that that particular person is acknowledged somehow. Look, we are all led by this movement. We are all a part of this movement. We are all united with Capitan Ibrahim Traore because we see what he's doing. That's why we are so freaking talkative. Some of you people have been here for 2 hours. You can see this mouth is not stopping to talk. We keep talking. It's true, huh? Yes, you have to have the tenacity to fight for that which that you want. You shouldn't give up like a white Afrikaner.
And flee to something that is so free but yet not free.
Yes. Jesus is king. That is very true.
Very, very true.
Thank you very much for joining us. I know you guys have been having a ball. Yes. Good things also come to an end. Don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed, feel free. Subscribe, follow us on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, all over the place, on Rumble, all over the place. Subscribe, become a member. I want to see some new names. I want to see some new members. I want us to grow this community. You understand what I'm saying? I want us to speak and talk and exchange ideas privately.
Yes.
Who knows who's here? Maybe there's somebody here that I need to learn from. Maybe I need to see certain things from different perspective because that particular individual is here, but I might not ever get it if this particular individual is not moved to become a member. So please become a member. Come on. Join the community.
Join us. Come on.
Yes.
Then there is...
Oh, that is very true. Then there is the brilliance of the president of Gabon. Stop responding to orders, now responding to puppet strings. Look here, I don't believe in that freaking coup that took place in Gabon 2 years ago. That was an orchestrated coup.
Oh my gosh, yes. Orchestrated, yes.
It was such an orchestrated coup, it had French written all over it. They brought out the French costumes to inaugurate that particular puppet. Ooh, I knew this one reeks of puppeteering. This has France written all over it. The crazy part of that inauguration, because that particular president of Gabon got inaugurated about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
You remember that ceremony? That spiritual stuff that was happening when the president of Gabon was being inaugurated.
By fire.
By fire. We call on the spirit of the ancestors. This is all happening while so many freaking presidents of Africa are sitting right behind him. And they can hear this spiritual leader or this spiritual person saying to the president of Gabon, anybody who disagrees with you, anybody who just goes against Gabon, anybody who comes at you to do things that are not in the interest of Gabon, it will never work. It will never work. You have the blessings of the ancestors, of the spirit of this land. I was just thinking to myself, but all these puppets are standing right behind him.
The people that this guy is denouncing is witnessing this.
The people that this supposed president will have to work with, these other presidents, these other heads, they're right behind him. They
So
can hear this.
Every idea that Gabon now brings, we have to say yes. Otherwise,
The spiritual ancestors
no way.
might be upon this particular Burundi. That
That was something, huh?
Hello, sorry, we're not telling you what to believe. Do your thing. It's up to you. But that was a little bit strange for me. But anyway, who are we to?
To each their own.
Like somebody says here, Jesus Christ is King. That's it.
Yes.
Jesus Christ is King. Yes. True. All right. And from today, I am a member. Africa must be united as one.
Much love.
Welcome.
Much love.
Le hello honola.
Yes.
Enolo. Welcome, my brother. Somebody's a member. Feel free to join the club. This is the big club of authenticity. People appreciate realness and authenticity. They like it when you are not scripted, when you come out here and you call it spade a spade, you call it as it is. You don't beat around the bush, you stick to the truth, even if it means calling out your own.
Yes.
That's why we've been we've been very vocal about the leadership and the corruption that exists in Congo. Born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, traveled all over the place, Pan-Africanist. Yes, I'm Congolese, but I'm African first. So thank you very much for becoming a member. To all of you guys, feel free to join. Follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, and all of the above. It's been a good, long 2-hour live.
Yes. Much love.
Much love,
It's been
everybody.
good.
Thank you very much. Yes, free Palestine. Free the human race.
Blessings to everyone.
Thank you very much. Good night.